For years, finding a creator for a campaign meant staring at a screen for hours. Influencer managers built their rosters by manually scrolling through hundreds of social media profiles, trying to guess which individual might actually move the needle. The math behind this manual labor is bleak. Data from Statista shows that influencer managers spend an average of 11 hours a week just on research and vetting. Roughly 70% of that time is spent on repetitive data entry and basic profile checks that require no strategic judgment. This method relies on the most accessible metrics, follower counts, and superficial engagement rates. Because it's a manual process, teams are forced to make high-stakes decisions based on vanity numbers, hoping the creator's audience is a genuine fit. This trial-and-error cycle burns through agency time and client budgets. It turns influencer marketing into an inefficient guessing game, rather than the strategic, data-driven channel it's supposed to be. That manual approach breaks down entirely when applied to the scale of the Indian digital market. We aren't looking at a single, monolithic block of users, but a hyper-fragmented ecosystem of 1.4 billion people. Broad national strategies are losing their effectiveness. To drive actual conversions, brands now have to target specific regional languages, micro-communities, and highly specialized topics, ranging from niche parenting advice to trusted regional fintech explainers. This map illustrates the complexity. The Indian creator economy has fractured into hundreds of distinct, interconnected niche clusters. For a lean marketing team, finding the right regional voice across all these subcultures is mathematically impossible. CMOs are realizing that their biggest bottleneck isn't a shortage of talent, it's a lack of modern tooling capable of filtering the noise and identifying the right voices in real time. This is where the workflow is evolving. Leading agencies are adopting a first research layer, using AI not to replace the strategist, but to handle the heavy lifting of data aggregation that used to live in spreadsheets. The shift starts with how we search. Traditional keyword filters are being replaced by semantic search, which understands intent. It allows a brand to describe an ideal partner, like a creator reviewing camping gear for weekend hikers in Marathi, finding matches based on contextual relationships. This system powers audience intelligence. By mapping actual sentiment and demographic overlap, the machine can verify if a creator's audience actually cares about your product, rather than just looking at their total follower count. It also functions as a fraud detection layer. By scanning 90 days of content in seconds, the system can instantly flag bot clusters or artificial engagement pods that a human eye might miss. Software provides the most value when it disqualifies mismatches immediately. In modern discovery, precision is priority. The goal is to eliminate bad fits so the team can focus entirely on the creators who actually matter. These tools are now moving into predictive performance. By analyzing historical campaign data, models can forecast a creator's cost per engagement and likely reach before any budget is committed. Large language models are also solving the blank page problem. By pulling from existing brand guidelines, they can automatically draft initial campaign briefs, standardizing talking points and creative requirements for the team to review. After the campaign, API integrations allow the system to turn raw metrics into narrative reports. The AI identifies anomalies and insights, like which specific content formats drove the most saves, removing the need for hours of manual analysis. By offloading these data-heavy tasks to the first research layer, agencies are reporting a 40 to 55% reduction in total campaign setup time. However, handing full control to the machine introduces significant operational risks. Without oversight, the process becomes vulnerable to the technical limits of AI. One major issue is hallucinated data. Because generative models optimize for plausible-sounding language, they can fabricate quantitative metrics that look real but have no basis in fact. Every performance stat must originate from a verified API source to be trustworthy. There is also the risk of recency bias. Algorithms tend to recommend creators who look like past successes, creating a feedback loop that misses emerging talent and produces a sea of sameness across a brand's entire roster. Unchecked efficiency eventually strips away the creative risk-taking and cultural nuance that build real consumer trust. It turns a relationship-driven industry into a sterile assembly line, producing campaigns that feel identical and soulless. This is why agencies are setting a strict boundary. The AI builds the data dossier, but the strategist makes the final call. There are non-delegable tasks that only humans can handle, like assessing brand voice alignment, understanding subtle local cultural shifts, and evaluating the history of a creator's relationship with the brand. The final execution layer still depends on high-level interpersonal skills. Final rate negotiations, creative direction, and exclusivity terms require the kind of nuance that no model can replicate. Influencer marketing in India has matured into a hybrid discipline. Technology provides the exact mathematical match, but humans are still the only ones who can build the relationship.